Big Tech's free speech crackdown. Amazon Web Services dropping Parler from its cloud services late last night following Google and Apple banning the app from their app stores. This coordinated move from Big Tech and social media could effectively take Parler offline permanently and run the company out of business. Joining me right now is the CEO of Parler, John Mates, joining me on the telephone. John, thanks very much for calling in this morning. How are you doing this morning? Can you tell us what has taken place?
Thank you, Maria. Well, it's an interesting morning, I guess, to say the least. You know, I never thought we'd be living in a country, where things like this would happen, where you could get coordinated companies canceling your, what you're doing. I mean, essentially, the site is...
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Maria Bartiromo, and on the line with me is the president of racism, Mr. CEO of racism. We found it. He's on the line right now.
Down, it's just a black hole. So... So it's pretty horrible. We woke up on Friday. We thought everything was normal. We were number one on the App Store, literally number one in the United States for most downloaded. I had a TikTok. I had everybody.
Bum, bum, bum. That's what happened, bro. Oh, we were number one. We were number one of the App Store once Twitter purged every Nazi and QAnon supporter. That's great. It's like Barry Weiss and all these fucking weirdo freaks, these centrist antis being like, I'm losing thousands of followers by the hour, simultaneously side by side. It's like Twitter has decided to ban every Nazi, fascist, and QAnon supporter from the platform. And then you have like centrists are really like, I'm losing so many followers. What's going on? It's like, dude, why are you admitting this? Like, this is a moment where we should be making fun of you, before before Twitter bans all the Nazis, after Twitter bans all the Nazis, and then make fun of you. You're literally admitting it yourself. How many followers do you lose? None. I gained followers, dude.
Facebook ahead of, Twitter. And there's no indication we had any serious problems from Apple, Google, Amazon. There was no serious threats, no anything. We had cordial correspondence with all of them, including
Bro, we had cordial correspondence, and we were so cordial when our platform, which billed itself as like an unapologetic free speech platform where Nazis could just like fucking organize, or hogs could just organize like insurrectionist movements on the timeline. It got in the crosshairs when they literally acted out on those desires.
Calls with Amazon, and then all of a sudden there's this massive threat, and we're going to get rid of you tomorrow. And now today there's no site remaining. Woke up on Friday, everything was fine. Now today there's nothing left.
That is really devastating, John. What are you going to do about this? How long would it take for you to get on new servers? I mean, I know that this doesn't happen overnight. Amazon Cloud Services tried to take market share from the Oracle and Microsofts of the world, telling small business, come here, we're reliable. And here they are dropping you from their servers.
Dude, this is so funny because it's literally like, help. My small business is literally a factory of racism. Help me, please. My racism factory is on fire. I've seen people out here making arguments that this is against free speech and shit like, bro, ain't you supposed to be tolerant of intolerant views? That's how tolerance dies. Well, it's not even just that. It's also not even protected under the free speech. Like, you literally can't fucking build a website billing it on like, this is a place where you can do insurrection and acts of terror or plot it out. Like, we will not regulate that and then be shocked when people actually do plot it out on your website and then end up doing it, and then, people die as a consequence of that. This should be a moment. Okay, here's what it is. Here's what this is, okay? And this is another indication that conservatives are fucking completely delusional and entitled. This should be a teachable moment for you to say, wow, we really did not recognize that unfiltered hate speech and this sort of mentality truly has devastating consequences when people act on those desires. Perhaps we should regulate our speech further. But no, because his entire business revolves around not regulating that. So he can't say that. So instead he's crying about free speech. It's like, no, this should be a fucking teachable moment for you to sit back, relax, and just be like, wow, man, I played a role in this. Like, it's kind of fucked up. And instead he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I can't believe we're getting banned. It's bullshit. Yeah, how would they feel if they had an ISIS chat that was on top of iOS? What would they say then? Exactly. No, that's literally it.
if this can happen to you, it can happen to anybody if social media decides to coordinate and cancel you out, kill your business.
Yes, that is extremely fair. And you know, in the case of a lot of the
I mean, he's
accounts,
literally saying, my racism factory shut down. Please, won't nobody help my racism factory? I can't. I'm done, dude. Oh my God.
but you know, violence go viral on, you know, these other platforms. You know, it's actually very dangerous. We have not seen any, as far as we can tell, there's no accounts that have tremendous following that are getting a lot of people looking at it, you know, talking tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands like you do on Twitter, you know, making these kind of threats, especially ones like the Ayatollah or, you know, Khomeini that you mentioned do on Twitter regularly. So it is a complete double standard. And I'm not sure, you know, I think people are waking up to it, and I think people see how big this is. But, you know, really what we can do to help kind of curb this is point out the double standard as much as possible. Take screenshots of that content that's on Twitter and everywhere else and show the world that this is.
Wait, isn't that literally what he was complaining about earlier? That, like, there are screenshots of banned content on Parler that are circulating on Twitter?
Actually, a lot of content that's deleted from Parler still remains up on Twitter to this day in the form of screenshots.
I need you to screenshot those screenshots.
And all of these stocks are down this morning. Twitter shares right now are down 8.5% in the pre-market, John. You've got others down as well as you continue to see this crackdown.
Yeah, seeing no, you know what's down? Fox Business's graphics department, dude. The fuck was that? Oh, that's so funny, dude.
I wonder if markets are looking at this and saying, this is going to come back to bite them because it's actually showing us how dominant these companies are. By the way, they're talking about purging lots of accounts just the other day. Literally, I think it was on Friday or Thursday, I was at 1 million followers on Twitter. I had 1 million followers on Twitter just a couple of days ago, and now I'm down to 922,000.
Dude, why are you admitting that, dude? Oh, it's so stupid. This is, okay, can I just say, this is my favorite part where, like, Twitter will literally be like, these are Nazis. We fucked up. We didn't ban them. These are QAnon supporters. We fucked up. We didn't ban them for a while. We're going to ban them. Absolutely zero people are expecting conservatives to take ownership of Nazi rhetoric to make it seem like that's a part of free speech that, like, is conservative speech. When you turn around and you say, these Nazis that you banned, well, they're just actually conservatives, you're saying conservatism and Nazism is tied together. No one is expecting you to do that. You're doing it on your own. Why would you take ownership of that? I'm sorry, but Eagle Patriot 1488 Heimler, well, that is a conservative man. That right there is exactly what the Republican Party is all about. Do not ban that man. Why? Why did you just admit that? You could so easily be like, well, some of these people are definitely Nazis and there's no place in the Republican Party, so it's good that this is the website's being cleansed of bots and Nazi agitators that seek to fill our ranks. It's like, no, I'm a Nazi and my friends are Nazis and fucked up.
So I've just from my own, anecdotal research, looking at my own Twitter account, I don't know where all those accounts went from.
So you're basically saying social media should decide what's wrong or right. When they ban Trump, you say it's good. But when they ban left, it's bad. It's bad in both cases. Who decides if a tweet is violent or not? Okay, let me ask you. Do you think ISIS should have a verified account where they say that they are going to bomb American landmarks? If you say, no, that should not happen, brood terror, then you basically understand that there are limitations to free speech. Please, violence shouldn't be allowed, but social media picks and chooses what they like. Wait, what do you mean? But that goes against what you're saying. Who decides a tweet is violent or not? Then you're saying violence should be banned. I'm so confused, brother. You said violence should be banned allowed, but social media picks and chooses what they like. I'm assuming you mean violence should be banned. I love debate Lord Andes, dude. They're so... Oh, I'm saying it's good if they ban Trump, but they let many others free, so it's biased. Okay, it's biased. Good. Whatever. Yeah, it's biased. You got him.
1 million followers.
I'm glad that you admit that it's good that they banned Trump, though. Thank you.
To now 922,000. John, let me ask you what the reason is. How are they getting away with this? I mean, they're saying that the targeted moderation by these companies against your company came after the civil unrest, the disastrous activity of violence, which marred largely peaceful protesters at the Capitol on Wednesday, interrupting those peaceful protesters with obviously horrendous violence. That's what they're saying. Did you see any activity on Parler that would have incited that?
Of course,
No, there's no evidence that Parler has anything to do with incitement.
Oh, come on, dude. You literally just said you have the evidence and you were upset that they were blasting the evidence all over Twitter, motherfucker. Come on.
Any of that. There's no mechanism to meet up or organize some kind of event like that on Parler. And so that's not really, something that Parler could have been used for. Now, I'm sure there was some people, just as there are on Facebook and Twitter and everywhere else, kind of upplaying it or making statements on it. If it was against our terms of service, we'd remove it because, frankly.
He literally was upset that there were screenshots of the evidence being blasted on Twitter moments ago, and now he's saying there's no evidence, really. I mean, what is evidence? Evidence comes from the Latin word evidente. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not interested in seeing our platform or any other platform, frankly, used as a tool for violence and spreading violence. We were never about that. We never advertised as being that. We advertised as something that's free speech, in the United States, what's allowed by this country. We never promoted that kind of violence or anything like that. We would have never condoned it. We have a lot of things in place to stop it. But Amazon and Apple and Google, they don't care. They're using this as an opportunity to squash the first real competitor in this space in so many years.
It was literally never a competitor. Like, it just was not. That's another problem, is like, because the reality is, if they were a competitor, if they had gotten to a big enough fucking point, Facebook probably would have bought them and then allowed them to fucking spread as much Nazi propaganda as they want freely. Let's be real.
Amazon coming in and pulling its servers, your law firm also walked. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a complete list, but we have probably 15, 20 plus vendors that all left as a result of their statements. And some people said that they would love to continue working with us, and then mysteriously, something happens, somebody talks to them, and they give us a call back, and they quit. They just pull their contracts out underneath us. And this is companies that are big, companies that are on the stock market, top 500 companies, everybody.
Oh my God, is he at a farm? There's literally a cock back there, dude. He's got a rooster. That's awesome.
He does this. It seems to be coordinated.
That's right.
And if it's not coordinated, it's certainly them banning us, giving them all a nod. If they get rid of you, everybody will get rid of you. And that's how it works. And so this could happen to any company.
I apologize for my cock in the background. He's getting real loud and
anybody
having fun with it.
What do you want to tell users right now? How are you going to battle back?
Well, everyone should hold on and come back when we can get online. It's a matter of time. We have to, at this point, we may even have to go as far as, buying and building our own data centers and buying up our own servers if we need to get back on the internet, But
the Mercers will back them.
There's still risk involved in that, given what vendors are doing and the extent they're going to get rid of us. So, just hold on. We're going to figure this out. But it's going to be devastating to our business, our model, and our potential to raise future capital, at least with the plans that we had before. I mean, this is really, really devastating what they did.
It really shows you where, like, some Republican commentaries' priorities lie. Like, they moved on so quickly from their watchers storming the halls of the Capitol to, like, well, this random fucking social media site was banned because of its role in the insurrection. Like, as though the other thing never happened. Like, one day people were like, we hate that you are competing with us and we're banning you. Tim Pool made one video. Tim Pool has made like 68 videos on an upcoming civil war about how the left is doing a civil war, how the left is actually doing a civil war all the time, and civil war is happening. And then the first act of like Republicans actually, following through on that agitation occurs, and Tim Pool's like, yeah, this is not that big of a story. Let's not talk about this most internationally recognized important event.
Hello nephew, it's Uncle Jink. I am in financial ruin. I went all in with my casino points on the Pittsburgh Steelers beating the Browns, and boy was I wrong. Can you refund me for old time's sake? TYT needs your help.
No.